If we began this exercise by navigating to shared folders and then the parameters directory and then the solutions params directory and looked at the param UR nav overview solution and the param URL nav detail solution, you would not see something that actually works. And the reason why is because even though the analyses are completed, in order for the exercise to work, we must actually publish as dashboards. Because in a real world scenario, often when you navigate between different objects within QuickSight, you're going to want to navigate not between analyses, but between dashboards. So let's go back to our parameters, but then drill down into our starter params and start in on this process by opening the param. Let's start with details with the param URL nav detail starter, because this is going to be our receiving dashboard that we will need to configure. So that's what we're starting with. Now, notice that the visualization is a pivot table with category and subcategory from the global superstore data set on the rows well, order date on the columns well, and sum of sales on the values well. And you can see the resulting visualization. Let's create a parameter. We'll do this by clicking on the parameter button in the toolbar. Next, let's interact with the parameters panel by clicking on plus add and creating a parameter called cat filter param. Data type will be string, values will be set to single value, and let's set a static default value of furniture. I'll click on create, and in the resulting dialog box, I'll select filter. Now, the filter in this case is only going to open up the filters panel. I'll click on add, and let's add a filter associated with category. Next, I'll click on that category filter to expand and edit it. And specifically what I want to do is I want to change that filter type to a custom filter. Then I want to click on the Use Parameters button. In the resulting dialog that pops up, I want to apply the filter to all visuals and sheets. I'll select yes, though it doesn't really matter since I only have one visual on one sheet. Under Select a Parameter, I'll select the cat filter param that we just created, and then I'll click on Apply. You can see that only furniture displays, and the reason for that is because the default value that I defined that only shows furniture. Now I'm going to publish a dashboard, so I can select the Publish option here on the upper right-hand corner, or I can click within within File and select Publish. Either way, I'll get to this Publish Dashboard option. I'm going to create a dashboard called Category Detail, and then select Publish Dashboard. Once I publish the dashboard, it's important that I copy the URL because I'm going to need that in just a little bit. So let me place that on my clipboard, Control-C to copy. And now I'm done with this dashboard. So I'll click on the Amazon QuickSuite logo to return to my homepage, drill down to the shared folders, and then enter the parameters folder, and then go back into the starters. Within starters, I'm going to open the param URL nav overview starter because I have some configuration that I need to do here. First, I'm going to need to make sure that I have the visualization selected. Then I'll click on the kebab menu located in the upper right-hand corner of the visualization and select Actions. And that is going to ensure that what's displaying on the right-hand side of the screen is Properties Action. And I may need to expand that Actions drop-down, and then I will need to click on the Add Action. I'm going to configure an action that's named View Category Details with activation set to Menu Option and an action type set to URL Action. Now, within the URL action, I will paste that URL that I previously copied, but then importantly, I'm going to need to add an extension to this URL, and it's going to look like this. So notice the hashtag p.catFilterParam, that's the name of the parameter that I created within the details analysis, and equals category. So this is going to pass some filtering. So notice at the end of the URL within the action panel, I'm simply pasting that small extension. The final results should look like this, where we have a full URL plus this extension with the hashtag p.catFilterParam equals category. Having done that, I can now click on Save within the Action panel, and then I'll go ahead and publish this as a dashboard, because remember, we need to link between dashboards, not between analyses for this example. I'll name the dashboard the category overview, and then simply click on Publish Dashboard. Now, within this published dashboard, I'm going to click on the bar associated with office supplies, and in the resulting pop-up, notice that I have View Category Details. When I select View Category Details, this navigates to the other dashboard that I created, that is the Details dashboard. Now, take a look at this URL at the top of the screen, and notice that at the end, we have that hashtag p.catFilterParam, and in this case, it's equal office supplies, and the percentage 20 in the middle is just a space representation. And now I can return to the category overview and select other options such as technology and, of course, furniture, and note the behavior of the details dashboard and how the details dashboard is going to be filtered accordingly. In this case, so that I only see technology.